and stuff, your body is just gonna take that time. So, for example, there are experiments where they try to, some people try to stay awake for as long as they could, and turns out you get hallucinations, or basically this half awake, half dream state, where people see things as if they're dreaming when they're awake. So that's how important this dream sleep phase is. Your body's just gonna know, I'm gonna put half of you asleep right now, and I'm gonna take some time off. You figure out how to go your own way on that day. I'm just gonna go to sleep. Good luck driving. That's pretty incredible. And I had a little bit of that. Also another experiment that correlates with that was an athlete. An athlete did that once, where I think she was sleep deprived and just took a 1-minute nap. She was so tired and just took this 1-minute nap, and she could have sworn that she slept for hours. And that's a little bit of what I felt like, this sort of compressed REM sleep phase. I woke up at, I think it was, I don't know, I woke up at 7 in the morning, which is not at all my time. And, I was bummed out because I thought, oh God, I had like 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep. That's not good. I'm gonna feel down for the rest of the day. But then, I got tired again at like 10. And I thought, whatever, I'm just gonna, whatever. It's gonna mess things up again. But, I have to sleep. And I went down to bed. And, spoiler alert, I woke up at 11:30-ish, something, like 1 to 2 hours later. And I had an incredibly, like really one of the top 10 vivid dreams of my life that day. Top 5. Let's say top 5. Or some, I don't know, I haven't made a list, I don't know. But it's definitely, it was incredibly beautiful and eerie and sort of, well, I guess I can describe it, but I have to think about it. So I was in my in my family house. So my family on my mother's side has a farm, and I was on that farm. And I'm not on that farm right now, but in my childhood I was there a lot, and we lived there for a while, and it wasn't the same. It was a bit different, and it was more beautiful actually. It was like better built, and just bigger, just so grand. And my grandmother came in, and that was unusual because actually she's dead. She's not under the living anymore, but I guess that doesn't, why should that matter in the dream? So she came in, but she looked different. She looked a bit, she looked like my grandmother had to work a lot on the farm, and you saw that, in her later years, you definitely saw the toll it took on her body, but she didn't look like that in the dream. She looked very sophisticated, very well read, which all of that she was, but she looked like she had a life where she could just concentrate on that. And immediately in the dream I thought, that's just it. This is a different reality. This is complete, this is very believable. This is just like an alternate timeline or something. And then I moved out. It turns out there was some sort of festive thing going on where a bunch of people gathered in the dining hall and stuff, and we had a dining hall. That's also, like I said, was a grander version of it all. And I met people that I haven't met, but I feel like I could meet, or they felt like relatives. They felt, it's so weird, they felt like relatives I didn't meet. You know, like sort of, I know that guy, but I know that I don't. Very odd. And I talked with them, and yeah, I got this sense again that this is a relative that I could have had, or I don't know, a weird feeling. And it was night, and there was a storm going on outside, and I got the sense that this is sort of this is a sort of a ritual. There's something special about the storm. And then I walked up to the window, and I guess I had a bit of an audience. You know, people were looking at me. I had that sense. And I opened the windows, and it was really the storm blew them open. And I sort of, you know, I talked about this. I haven't flown in a really long time in a dream. And I'm glad to say that I did in this dream a lot. So, yeah, I guess I got my license back, or I don't know. It really felt like a test. It really felt like, you know, show if you can still do it. Or, yeah, in a weird way it felt like that, but also like as if I'm flying for the first time, and I don't. And yeah, I flew out of the window and just into the night, and I made a round, and it looked like, yeah, a couple of places looked like places I knew, some others didn't at all. Like there was this one house that was like really tall, like a bit like the Weasley house in Harry Potter, but taller, way taller. And the wind was really not, it wasn't nice to that house. Like it really looked as if it could collapse at any moment, but it didn't. And I flew back in, and I told my mom, hey, I flew again, you know, I did it. And she sort of, she clapped and said, well done, but sort of in a way that was mocking me, like, yeah, okay, you can fly, alright, like, like it wasn't, like, finally you figured it out. And then I thought about, it connected to another dream I had, where these like I guess it was a year back, I had this dream where these beings of light asked me where I wanted to go after I flew a bunch, and I didn't have an answer, and for some reason that answer came to mind again, and I told my mom in the new dream, you know, yeah, okay, but I still don't know where to go, and I was really bummed out about that, and it was true, you know, I didn't exactly, but then without waiting for an answer, I just said, you know what, I want to see the witches. Oh, I forgot to tell you, there were witches in the dream. But not in like it was the first time I flew out of the window and looked around the land. It was, you know, very cloudy, and I could see far away these witches flying in the air, and they were singing, or more like humming, you know, they were making this sound that was, you know, it was difficult to say if it was the wind or their song or both, you know, sort of like a howling, sort of, you know, and it was eerie, but also really beautiful, you know, but it definitely, you know, it got the hairs on your back stand up, you know, it was like a bit of that, but also beautiful, very, very odd, and just, I saw them from far away, you know, not flying on broomsticks, but just, you know, flying in I guess, like, these, yeah, a bit like dresses, you know, but very natural looking, odd, but yeah, just far away, and yeah, I said that the first thing I said was, I want to see the witches, you know, because I just saw them from far away, and I went out the window again, you know, flying, and it felt great. And yeah, I just flew up. I couldn't find them again immediately, and I was strange. And then, yeah, I just flew up. I couldn't find the witches. And sort of, I was flying too high, you know, I was sort of losing hope, I guess you could say. That was sort of the feeling I had, like I'm not finding those witches, and actually, how does flying work again? You know, I was questioning everything about myself, and in that moment I fell, you know, and I fell, and I saw from far away, I saw this witch coming closer, and I thought, oh my god, this is gonna be a very close rescue, and that's what it was. You know, she caught me mid-air, but I also feel like I also caught her. It's very, again, like a very odd dynamic. She saved me, but I also saved her, you know. It was sort of like the way I was holding her, you know, I wrapped my arm around her and she had hers around me, and it was a bit romantic, I have to say. I felt a bit tempted to kiss her. That was sort of the theme that this embrace came with, you know. But I didn't dare to, because it was I was just stunned by the presence. You know, the moment that I held her really felt like I was holding someone. You know, this is someone, and this isn't. This is rare, even in a dream. Of, you know, I can tell when sometimes I sort of, you know, when it's sort of an actor of my mind, like, oh, this is, you know, I know this guy, they stand for this and this and that, and the way they talk with me, but I rarely have the sense that, you know, sometimes, but yeah, that this is actually someone right now, you know, and I have a conversation with that someone. And yeah, I looked at her, and she, it seemed like her face was still, I was seeing more faces than one in her, you know. It was like, not in a creepy way, but just like, on one, in, you know, yeah, as if you look at her in a certain way, and her whole persona was sort of like different, and then, but it was changing in a process of my, I guess, thinking. I don't know, but yeah, she just she said something about her eyes. She said I think she was a bit short-sighted or something. Her eyes weren't like, they weren't blind, but you could see there was something in them. And she said, yeah, they haven't healed right yet, and I don't know, something like that. I couldn't quite make sense out of that yet, and I hesitate to say too much about that, because that's just gonna be confusing, you know, even for me. But it was very, you know, that's where it ended. We sort of like softly flew down, you know, on the ground. We didn't touch it. I woke up before that, but I had this sense of, yeah, I think I really wanna kiss that witch, but I didn't dare to. It was like, and I felt like a coward afterwards, because I did kiss people in my dreams, and you know, it was always like, you know, I think of myself as a romantic, but in my dreams I sort of always kiss the girl that's sort of this adventure type, and it never leads anywhere. And here I have like a real presence, like I feel like a real, you know, whatever. And I didn't, you know, I was a coward. I felt a bit like that. But also, maybe that's fine, you know. Hey, it was our first date, you know. Maybe it would have been overwhelming. I don't know. Who does that on the first date, right? I don't know. details, I guess, but no, I told it really well, except for, I don't quite remember what that witch said, but it was something, yeah, definitely, something with her eyes, and, it was odd how her features shifted, sort of in a beautiful way, but sort of, yeah, confusing. And just the feeling I felt, this sort of, I felt a bit like a card, but also like, similar actually to these beings of light, where I felt like this is a real presence, you gotta think about what you're saying or doing here right now, It was different than, yeah, sometimes you're just in a movie, It feels like I'm in a movie, I can do whatever I want, and that's, I can pull up this building, I can fly through there or whatever, and it's sort of, it's a playground, but this felt like, yeah, again, like a test. Yeah. I think I passed it, or I think I'm still in the process. I'm still in the test, perhaps. Who knows? But that was so exciting, and I felt so great after that. I mean, I felt really, the whole day I was like, yeah, I was totally awake, Yeah, so interesting. So interesting. Yeah. And I also, that's a good subject for another ramble. I also had some nightmares after that, but I overcame them. I could, they weren't a problem. Like, I was sort of leaning into them. It was like, yeah, I felt like I was in a horror movie, and okay then, let's watch this horror movie. They didn't faze me, you know what I mean? They didn't affect me. They didn't feel like they were out of my control. That was a very interesting experience also. Maybe that's not enough for, yeah, but I'll think about it. But that's just, I don't even know how I did that. I felt so great, I guess it's all connected to that. I really feel good, that's what I can tell you. So, yeah, I hope that's interesting. I don't know exactly how I defeated the nightmares or how I overcame them. How I did that exactly. But I don't know. I read some books, or I read a book. Went to sleep with that. I don't know. Yeah, I feel good. So I don't know, it really felt like I could protect myself against it. Like it was something I did actively, but I don't really know. Well, actively. I don't know, it came from somewhere else, subconsciously. Yeah. But I'll think about this some more. And, yeah. I think you should too. You should think about your dreams. It's time well spent, because your body really needs it. He won't let you go to do your day's work without sleep. So pay some attention to that. You don't have to analyze it like I do, but I don't know. Try to, experience them really. I don't know.